We are ready to start. Hello, and welcome to this final session of the DestinE User eXchange. My name is Claudia Vitolo. I'm from the European Space Agency, and I will be chairing this session. This session is divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we will put user feedback under the spotlight, so you will have the chance to hear about different studies that address co-design and attractiveness of the platform. You will also hear the findings from a recent survey on the platform, and then we will move on to the second part. The second part is about what's coming next to the user, and we will start by telling you about quality and what is quality in the framework on DestinE and what we plan to do about that. And then we will move on and we will hear from the 3 entrusted entities about the wider news on DestinE, what's coming next. And the third part is basically we will wrap up the event and we will draw some final conclusions. So this is the plan, and without further ado, I would like to start by introducing the first speaker. Please, Madeleine Betley, come to stage. She will present the attractiveness study of DestinE. Madeleine, the floor is yours. You know how to start the presentation, right?
Good. Do you hear me well? Yeah, thank you. So, hello everyone, glad to be here to introduce you the DestinE Attractiveness Study. Today, to be honest, I'm feeling a mix of feelings to do this presentation in front of you. I'm a little bit stressed, and I think you can all guess why. But the real reason is that I really want to properly represent the work that we have done with our team and with the ESA team also for more than a year. But I'm also super enthusiastic to be here because I have an exciting challenge today. I need and I want to spark your curiosity to dive deeper on our attractiveness report, on our attractiveness study, and read it. And also, I want you to get on board with us on Destination Earth to help us build a successful and sustainable future together. So let's do it together. The first part will introduce a little bit the framework of this attractiveness study. Then I will drive you all the way, the different questions we ask ourselves during this journey. And afterwards, I will give you a sneak peek of what we did as a recommendation inside this report. So, what is the objective of the attractiveness study? To make it simple and basic, it would be to say that we really want to make DestinE a success. And what does it mean, making DestinE a success? This is an interesting question to ask yourself. For us was to be sure that DestinE is answering user needs, user expectation in terms of technical but also non-technical features, and also to have a growing community around it. So basically, the attractiveness study is to list everything, all recommendations, but levers also to go in that direction of making DestinE a success. So who participated to this study? Us, Muse partners, we drive it in the framework of the Advanced Application Services contract led by Atos, and we work in coordination with the ESA team. And all the way, more than a year on this, I summarize it on 5 questions that I will present you today. And so the first question, pretty basic. We started with, who are the users of DestinE and what do they want? We really wanted to insist on this user-centricity approach. And we continue with the second one, saying, okay, we're pretty sure that other users from different sectors, from various sectors, could be interesting to use what is inside DestinE in terms of data, in terms of services. So we also make some sectorial analysis that I will introduce you. we continue with a technology assessment. What could be the technology inside DestinE that could attract users and what they would like to find it, and what could be a competitive advantage to find in the platform more than what it is already inside DestinE. The fourth question is essential because for a platform that wants to advertise and raise awareness on climate change, you need also to have a strategy in digital responsibility. So we advise also some actions, and I will present you afterwards, how to make this platform the most digitally responsible as much as possible. And when we have all those 4 questions answered, you have a status, so which is nice. But then you need to know how to monitor this, how to implement all those actions, how to set a governance to continuously ask yourself, is the platform answering the user needs? So we also advertise, and you can read it on the report, a way to continuously govern this, this attractiveness and stay focused on this success. So, to give you a little bit more how we did this analysis and how we concluded, because I'm pretty sure when you will open the report, you will probably jump to the conclusion. So I give you a little bit how we made this conclusion. So what we did is asking ourselves, who are the users, who are the stakeholders around DestinE? And we led more than 50 interviews from various sectors, countries, from various positions, from the private and the public sectors. And we asked themselves, what do you expect from this kind of platform? So we asked them before the launch of DestinE, a year ago in June. So we asked them before it was really live to be sure that what they could expect from it, but we also interviewed them afterwards to analyze their customer journey. And you can see on the back, there is a customer journey analysis on our report to make some clear recommendation and concrete recommendation on how we should improve this. I take also the opportunity to say that this work is still ongoing. I mean, having interviews, it's still an ongoing process. And you can participate by flashing this QR code and becoming a champion. We are always looking for people that want to give good ideas to improve the attractiveness of DestinE. And I can reassure you this QR code will not disappear after this slide. So you can still continue to listen to me and flash the QR code all along my presentation until the end, so no worries. So to continue on a user aspect, we also have analyzed what the various sectors could be interested to use DestinE and EO data and environmental data. So we have made 6 sectorial analyses that you can find in the report. And each time we ask ourselves, what is at stake on these sectors? What are the key service providers? And also, what are the potential application of EO and environmental data in this sector? More than those 6 sectors, there are other analyses to come. There's one on agriculture, for example, one on public infrastructure. So if you have anything to share with us on one of those sectors, we would be pleased also to get in touch with you. And for this, do not hesitate either to register as a champion or contact us afterwards. The third question is the best for me because I'm a little bit geek inside me. So this is the one on technologies. What are the technologies that could be inserted in the platform? So for this, we did a kind of benchmark analysis of other companies. You can see some of them that we have analyzed here. And the idea was really to draw best practices, what could be integrated inside DestinE. We also more recently helped ESA to draw an AI roadmap of the platform around 4 strategic axes. So the first axis of this AI roadmap is, of course, innovation. Putting AI is also a driver of innovation inside the platform. So if here, for example, we studied opportunities to integrate AI agents, to integrate maybe in the future quantum, or at least quantum emulator, blockchain, etc. We worked also on accessibility in terms of user-friendliness, for example, how to do data processing in DestinE in an easy way. I think a lot of you are looking for this as a service provider. But also accessibility in terms of disabled people, how to help them access more easily the different services that DestinE can offer using AI. So we have providing some examples of action that can be raised. We have a third pillar on development tools. If you are a developer, you know your work is changing fast nowadays. So if DestinE is a place to do development, then you need to integrate some AI tools to improve this development. So this is part also of our analysis. And a bit more paradoxical, it's the topic of digital responsibility. Some tools using AI can also be used to improve this impact. For example, to have cost-effective resource optimization, transport optimization tools using AI that would lead also to a better digital responsibility. So this is the third question. And talking about digital responsibility, you can also draw inspiration about it for DestinE, but also for your own project, because inside this report, you can find also some concrete actions on how to be more digitally responsible. So for this, we have different axes. The first one is set up a governance. You need to set up a governance inside your company, and Isa is taking it as a leader to follow the different actions that are going to be decided this year and the next year. There's also actions to measure the environmental impact of DestinE, and this is the second stream. And then there are many other actions that are being discussed. For example, how to raise awareness on the user, for example, when they are doing several simulation, how to inform them about the impact of this simulation, but also on service provider side. If companies are joining the catalog, maybe we can also advise them ways to be more digitally responsible. The fifth question I already mentioned a little bit, but the idea is, now that you know how to make an attractive platform, how do you measure the success of it? So we detailed KPIs and indicators that could be measured and that will be measured to measure this attractiveness, but also what is important is how to set a governance to be agile enough in the coming years to set up actions and improve the attractiveness of it. So you can find this governance in three horizons, the operational, the tactical, and the strategic horizon. And what is really interesting is this governance is involving the ecosystem around DestinE, involving the key actors, and you can be also part of it as a champion. So, my last slide has the strong objective to summary more than 40 recommendations. So this is not feasible in one slide, but I will do my best to give you more details on this. So our recommendations are based on those 5 pillars. The first one, and I think you understand it, the first aspect you should question yourself when building DestinE and other platforms is, does it answer right the user needs? So for this, I think there are 3 levels of actions. The first one, you need to ask yourself, the people joining the platform needs to find what they are looking for in the platform. So we have put some examples of what they should find, but for example, data that are optimized for analysis, cloud optimized format, visualization as a service. This is the kind of tools that people are expecting from DestinE. A second thing on user is they need, you can have the best platform in the world with the best tool inside it. They need to live a good experience. So for this, you need also to think about how to tailor the experience inside DestinE based on the user profile, based on its maybe level of expertise. And this is our second pillar on user. And the third one, and I heard it already yesterday on the user exchange, is about engagement. How do you engage users inside DestinE? And we're pretty convinced that collaborative spaces, for example, where you can exchange use cases, you can exchange technology brick, are really potential. But this is only one example. So this is the first and main pillar prioritize user experience and engage with users. The second, of course, is about technology and AI. And I talk already a lot about the AI roadmap that we advise in this report. But yeah, take this AI opportunity to, for example, improve the accessibility of the platform. Now that we are going through a world where everything is exchanging in natural language, go for it and implement it concretely in DestinE. There is also the possibility to remove the complexity of tools with no or low-code tools or no or low-code layers in more than what you have on your platform. The third pillar is a bit more technical, but if you're aiming to create a marketplace of services where you can be able to chain one service, one technical bricks, etc., you need to have strong principles to robustify interoperability. So for this, DestinE needs to set protocols, guidelines for service providers that are joining the platform to be sure that everything will work in the future. It also means that you have a comprehensive catalog of services, which is already the case, but also on a comprehensive catalog of data and APIs. And of course, it would be interesting to draw a little bit some capabilities and access of other EU programs about interoperability. The fourth topic, I think you understand that is also important, the digital responsibility. So there is a really strong expectation about this topic that you will show the path of how to be more digitally responsible on this one. And this is really important as digital emission is representing 4% of the global emission otherwise. So this is really important to make some actions on this. And finally, the fifth one is really how to make a sustainable platform, not for this year, but for the coming years. How to continuously ask yourself, is DestinE answering user needs? Is DestinE a success? Is DestinE sustainable in the long term? So this is also some things that you can find and more concretely inside the platform. So my last message is probably for you. I mean, if you want to access the attractiveness study, you can find it. It's on the new learning app of DestinE. But to be transparent, I mean, I have a message for you. I mean, you should get on board also and help us shape this future. So don't hesitate to register as a champions. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any interesting ideas to share about the sectors, about the user experience, about innovation. I will always be keen to discuss about AI also, but this is more personal. So don't hesitate to come and discuss with us. Thank you.
Many thanks, Madeleine. Any question for Madeleine? Maybe I can start. Madeleine, you mentioned, you hinted in your presentation that this study is not finished here, right? Because obviously you want to keep monitoring and understanding the attractiveness of the platform as it evolves over time. So what's next?
Good question. So what's next? So we haven't finished the attractiveness study yet. So what is coming is, of course, we continuously support the actions on the digital responsibility. There's also new sectors, agriculture, public infrastructure, but if you have in mind other sectors, we will be pleased also to analyze them if you think there's potential for your data. And yeah, other analysis on business models, also on digital twins, opportunity, etc.
Okay. Any other question? Yes.
Thank you for this very nice overview, Alexander Jacob from Europe Research. I was wondering, did you also make an analysis in terms of what were the, let's say, the preemptive target users and the people then actually using the platform? Did you make a kind of comparison if this matches or if there are other applications than what you expected, something in this direction?
Yeah, so I think it's the target of the KPIs, the attractiveness KPIs, to measure. I mean, we have set the targets, meaning we have listed the different kind of users that should come and would be interesting to come and join the platform. And so you can compare it with what we are having on the attractiveness dashboard, which is allowing us to see where we are in terms of target. But this is the beginning. I mean, of the users.
Is there a match, or how is the feeling about this? Just out of curiosity.
I think today, I mean, others would have more information about it. I don't know, Claudia, if you have, but I think today there are a lot of researchers that are interested about the platform, which is nice, but I think there are also a variety of users that are expected also. So challenge for the future to grow this ecosystem and find new users.
You can continue the conversation with Madeline over the break or lunch break, but we need to move on. Thanks a lot, Madeline, again. And I would like to invite to the stage our next speaker, Alexis Longuet from Cerco. He's going to talk about the first results of the DestinE survey.
Okay, we skipped the first slide. Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here to represent the work we are doing at Cerco with ISA on the DestinE platform, but more importantly, to share the feedback that we got. It's a preliminary feedback that we've got from the user survey. You've been invited across the different presentations yesterday and today to fill the survey. I'm not going to change. I will ask you also to keep filling the survey. We're going to present a short analysis of the already available answers, but we really want you to take 10 minutes when you're heading back to your location. Take the time to give us your feedback. We hear your voice, and that matters to us. You will see during the presentation, hopefully, that your ideas actually translate into roadmap of the platform and gets implemented across the course of the next months that you've submitted them. So today, the platform is live for a bit more than 250 days, open to the public, and we've got more than 3,200 registered users. This QR code is not for the survey, but in case some of you are not yet registered to the platform, please do so. We've got more than 23 operational services and many more to come. We have set all the building blocks of the platforms to make it an open ecosystem that will enable onboarding of newcomers, and that also enables users to provide us feedback. One of the important items that we have put out in the recent weeks is the user survey. I will share with you a preliminary view. It's not the final stage, as you still need to impact this user survey with your recommendations. The contributors, we have so far less than 40 contributions, and let's discover together who they are. The first one, private sector, which was the most represented user responding to the survey with 43%, but that includes also the contractors that are working on the platform in the DestinE system, and therefore it explains a quite large portion of this amount of respondents. The general public, which includes citizens, non-declared profiles and others. And then we have, I would say, the core of who our users are: institutions, public sector, research, academia. And finally, CMWF is a UMedSet staff that also provide continuous feedback to the teams and also responded to the survey. What did we learn? So we see that DestinE is very much relevant for all respondents in their work. They believe that the initiative is key for them to reach their objectives in the coming months, the coming years. And there, I believe the work that has been done this past year since the implementation of DestinE matches the expectations and the vision that we all share here at the User Exchange. And highlighting this is the high satisfaction score rating of 4.4 out of 5. We see that there are still things to be improved, and I will come up to what users said about it. But it's very much important for us that we know we are in the right direction. DestinE is relevant. The alignment with the national and institutional strategy is also important, especially for institutions, public sectors, and we see also there that the alignment is strong, less than the relevance of DestinE, but we know that we are working together to make DestinE more and more relevant for national institutions, national initiatives. So it's a work ongoing as well. On the platform itself, in the experience of using the platform, the user experience, user journey, the performance, the reactivity, responsiveness of the support, also there we see quite a good satisfaction from the respondents. And we are collecting the feedbacks, analyzing the recommendations, and you will see that we will improve also this part because it's important for you to be able to easily discover the services. There were a lot of discussions around this, and we were there, the DestinE platform team, to also collect these recommendations, and we will evolve the platform in the future accordingly. Finally, the readiness to support your intended usage. So far, we have a lower score there, because the question is more about DestinE's readiness to support an intended usage that will come later on. So it's quite normal that DestinE is not yet responding to your future needs, but it's also the goal of the DestinE system to anticipate what you want, and we need to really have you expressing not only your current needs with the current state of the DestinE system, but also help us project in the future and anticipate how you would like to use the unprecedented data that we have in the coming years. So what users said, in general, there is a consistent feedback about the need for a better documentation and training. So we have taken actions, we have noted this feedback, and we have set up a dedicated learning hub where you can actually already find tutorials, step-by-step tutorials. We have also started webinars in order to empower users to discover services, as you've done this morning and yesterday. And that was an important feedback that we had, and we already, I would say, anticipated it and worked on it for the last months. Regarding the services, functionalities, the fragmentation of services, the discoverability of the services, and as an example, how to access the data as I can access it from many services is also a point. We are working with all service providers that join the platform in order for them to make a better use of the already existing services. So we have an integration of one service with the others and a better chaining. So also there, the feedback is well earned. Function-based labels and hierarchy, we get into the detail, but we understand that structure is very important for our user community. Also the need of more information about the metadata, and that's also an important feedback. On technical features, need for development environment, sandbox and testbed has been raised during the user survey, as well as having practical toolkits, examples, and everything for you to really kickstart your activities in a fast way and efficient way. Regarding the data itself, there are some comments about missing information on the assumptions related to the data, need for validation and benchmarking, and the need for a unified API access and clearer catalogs. So this is so far the feedback we've collected. Please keep providing feedback through the survey. The survey is not the only way we get feedback beyond the direct support to users. We also benefit from the work from the DestinE use cases team that have gathered about 200 recommendations from the user community. I hope that many of you have engaged with their team across the last user exchanges. 40% of the recommendations brought by the user community since 2023 are now implemented as part of the system. 1/3 are under implementation, and finally 25% are in roadmap. So it means that more than 95% of the ideas that you have brought, the recommendations, are now or will soon be implemented in the platform and in the system. So when we highlight the fact that users really have a word and really can influence the platform evolution and the system evolution, it's true. So please do provide feedback once again in the coming days in the exchange. Here are a few quotations about what users have been expressing as part of the recommendations, going from engaging people that are not yet users, so we also work on that. with dedicated stakeholder engagement activities. The platform user interface to be customized to the user needs. We are also working on that. Some of the recommendations are considered out of scope. It does not mean that they are not relevant. It means that considering the current status of the project and the current policies around, they are not relevant at this moment. But do not hesitate to provide recommendations. Even if they are out of scope at the precise moment, they will maybe be very much relevant in the coming weeks. In very short, we've got three main new developments. The tenancy that has been presented this morning that brings organization and collaboration on the platform directly. We have the Learning Hub that you can access from the support page of the DestinE platform. There is a dedicated website portal just to provide you with all the webinars, tutorials, also all the papers that the community has provided. A MOOC will be upcoming as well to go more in depth, more in detail. And we finally are working on the service registry, so the exploration page from the catalog, in order to improve the user journey, facilitate your discovery of services, and reorganize a bit your access to the services in order for users to always improve their use of the platform and streamline the user journey. I cannot leave the stage without asking you once again to fill the user survey. So please find a QR code to do so. And we really encourage you to take a few minutes to provide your feedback. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Alexis. Any questions for Alexis? Yes, please.
Hi, thanks for the nice talk. Would it be possible for you to please specify the number of people who took this survey?
So far, as of yesterday, when I set up the slides, we were about 34 respondents to the survey. So we really invite you to bring your voice on top of these 34 respondents and to also bring more significance to the quantity of respondents. Please do so. Did you take it?
Not yet, but then looking at the numbers, I think only 3 of your, I think 21%.
So please take the survey.
3 people from the public segment took this survey.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So which means only 3 people or 3 participants from the public sector took this survey, based on the statistics what you mentioned.
Yes, correct.
All right, thank you.
Please.
Any other questions? Maybe I can add that you don't, just to clarify to the audience, Serco does not collect recommendations from users only through the survey. This was only dedicated to the surveys. You are on the receiving end of recommendations coming from events, from webinars, from loads of different, you have loads of different channels. The website, the platform itself collects recommendations from the users as well. So there is a very wide number of recommendations that arrive in Serco. And probably for the audience, it's also very interesting to understand a little bit more about your relationship between the relationship between Serco and the service providers. So you have a strategic role that is to collect these recommendations and prioritize them somehow. Then you pass them to the service provider for implementation. So can you tell us about this process? Can you tell us a little bit more? Thanks.
So we are lucky to have a full ecosystem that gathers user requirements, recommendations, and we also operate the service desk, the support of the platform. So if you interact with the platform, we are gathering the requirements. But thanks to the whole work that is done, our job is pretty simple because we take all the recommendations, the inputs from all this ecosystem, and we need to understand if they are relevant for the platform, for the system, and work with the different service providers on the platform to have them evolve their service or evolve their roadmap. And we quarterly review with the service providers all the inputs that have been provided, and we try to bring user recommendations into the roadmap of the service providers themselves. So it's a constant work and evolution with the service providers.
Yes, thank you. And also, we reviewed recently just the recommendations from the events only, and there were more than 200. So just to share with you that we are talking about a lot of recommendations. Thanks a lot, Alexis.
Thank you.
And I would like to invite on stage our next speakers, Malik Terfou and Alexander Azulai from Armines Paris. They are going to share with us their study on co-design.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here for this presentation and for having us. We're very happy to have the opportunity to present our work here. So my name is Malik Terfous, and I'm with my colleague Alexandre Azoulay, and we will be presenting our ongoing work on co-design for Destination Earth, so designing services with users and for users. To give you a brief introduction to the project, so we are two research labs from Mines Paris, which is one of the top engineering schools from France. So there is the Center for Observation Impact Energy that is specialized in Earth observation and developing services based on satellite data. And there is the Center for Management Science, which Alexandre and myself are a part of, specialized in the management of design and innovation studies. And we are a huge team working on this project, so some of our colleagues are here, Nicolas, Lionel, and so on. You can meet them later on the day and discuss with them. And in this project, we are working with users. We are working on a use case with the city of Marseille, which has been selected because it is a representative user of the Destination Earth platform because it gathers a lot of complexities, and it has been selected by the European Union amongst the 100 cities neutral in carbon by 2030. And our collective goal in this project is to develop a co-design methodology and toolkit for the Destination Earth program and platform, putting users at the center of service development, and test these methodologies and these tools on a concrete case to demonstrate their value and the relevance for it. And to do so, we developed a superset to help the city of Marseille reach its sustainability objectives. So, as you've understood, we have on one side the Destination Earth platform and on the other, users. And the problem here that emerged and that created our work is the fact that more often than not, there is a ground distance, what we call a ground distance, between service providers or Destination Earth platform and potential users. And this ground distance in management size, when we talk about it, it's not just about meters or kilometers, but rather we refer to the factors that influence the ability of different actors to work together. And the objective of our methodology here is to provide co-design at each of these different steps to bring these distant ecosystems together. So, to give you a brief overview of our presentation here, it will be in 4 different steps. First of all, we will present to you co-design in action. So a brief introduction to what we did with Marseille, then the different challenges that you can face through co-design, the co-design method adapted to the Destination Earth platform to give you an overview of what it is, and finally we will conclude on the work that we are doing and the different perspectives that we have. So I will leave the floor to Alexandre to present the first part.
So thank you, Malik. Hello to everybody. So please let me start by the end, introducing briefly what co-design allowed us to achieve with the city of Marseille. First, co-design allowed us to identify some very precise needs from public authorities from the city of Marseille, so local policymakers, on typically different needs on 2 key terms. The first one is nature in town, and the second is energy. But co-design also allowed us to develop very consistent tools to answer these very specific needs. And more interestingly, co-design allowed us to reach a really concrete adoption of the service developed by the city of Marseille, and this adoption of the tools even goes beyond our expectations. Sorry. Please let me introduce Blaise, which is one of our stakeholders in the city of Marseille, and which during a workshop just explained us how it used the tool and the usage it had from the tool for city planning was even not identified during our previous co-design workshop. So co-design with Marseille allowed us to develop some tools that really empowered the user in creating their own use of data on the tools. So let me briefly also introduce Brice Dachausière, which is the head of the Nature in Town department in the city of Marseille, which also, you can see a brief testimony if you follow this link on the QR code, where he explained how co-design helped us to design consistent service, but also that co-design is a very pragmatic way to collect and to identify very specific user needs. So the question now is how we triggered co-design to develop these services. And let me just, before answering this question, let me briefly emphasize that co-design is not only a matter of designing with the city of Marseille in France. Co-design methods were initially developed in the context of the eShape project led by Eurogeo and was applied on 35 pilots from different European countries. So it is a generic method to help you to design a concrete service. So briefly, what is co-design? Co-design in our approach for DestinE is a form of collaborative innovation that puts a specific emphasis of the need of reinventing the relationship between the involved actors, typically service providers and the users. So it includes design aspects, creating innovative services based on user needs, but also collective aspects, because the co-design emphasizes the need to create a relationship with the users, and a crisis aspect. Why? Just because there is no obvious way to interact with usually unknown users. So this approach to co-design emphasizes different challenges to face. First, there are some key relational challenges that DestinE co-design method address. In several cases, exploiting Earth observation and climate data imply to interact with unknown users, so which bring three key challenges. The first one is crossing the ground distance with user, as Malek said. The second one is structuring a complexion of relationship between different types of actors, such as infrastructure provider, data provider, users, and so on. And the last one is building a collective design capability, which means that co-design does not only focus on collecting needs or collecting user feedback, but on designing with user to be really near from their real needs. So it leads to a need for a co-design methodology focusing on designing the collective, the collaboration. This was from the relational perspective, but our co-design method also address some key challenges service providers are facing from a technical perspective. Usually, the service developer could be tempted to focus on the question related to operability, but we focus on, through the co-design toolkit we provide some tools to also address the definition of the scope of usefulness, identifying the real user needs, identifying some levers for fostering usability, scalability, and sustainability. The tools provided within the co-design toolkit answer these key technical issues and challenges. So I will now be brief. Overall, our co-design methods support a key need to shift from a quick fit regime of action that focus on one need, on one service development, toward a resilient fit action that focus on building a portfolio of resilient projects.
Thank you, Alexandre. So now I will present the co-design methodology adapted to the Destination Earth platform. Of course, when we talk about co-design, we directly hear co-design sessions or workshops. So the co-design toolkit that we built integrates deeply the concept of co-design sessions by providing a step-by-step guidance on how to construct different agendas to be able to dialogue with users, on how to create the interaction and facilitate the interaction during these workshops by the co-design sponsor, which is yourself when you're using the methodology. And it is supported by generic templates that will be available to help users formulate their needs and to help you conduct the different co-design sessions. However, whereas in some cases co-design focuses solely on the workshop sessions, the co-design methodology that has been developed for Destination Earth includes in a much broader spectrum in regard to the process of building the technological solution for the users and the relationship with these users, going way beyond workshop. So the methodology starts with a first phase dedicated to the user approach that you see here on the left, and that is required to clarify the usage ecosystem of such users. Then we get into a second phase that is very central to this methodology, that is the diagnosis phase, to delineate the different challenges of these said users and identify their specific needs. Because more often than not, we can have assumption on what the user needs are, and even these said users have assumptions on their own needs. But without a careful diagnosis and without this step conducted, it is very, very hard to not have fixation on these points. Then we have the co-design sessions as I've described. And finally, the last phase is the outcomes phase to ensure and foster future collaboration and to make sure that the service will actually be used not only now, but in the future, and not, as Alexandre explained, focus on one user at one time, but always focusing on building a portfolio of potential users, potential usage, and application over time. So this is what we mean by resilient fit co-design. So a second important point to note is that the usual approach to co-design would have focused only on specific applications, answering only one of those needs. And our strategy within this methodology is to build a superset instead of a standalone application. So we focus first on generic layers that are common to most needs, most identified needs of users. Then we implement specific features corresponding to each specific need. And the interest of such approach, in the case of the city of Marseille, the user that we have tested this methodology with, is to formulate more precise needs and identify new potential needs, allow to collaborate with different stakeholders and ecosystems, and foster the synergies between the Destination Earth platform and data, and complementary potential data sets that could be added to the Destination Earth platform. So a third counterintuitive and important point of the methodology is to go beyond the technical innovation and put an emphasis on the design of the code. And what we mean by that is, actually always trying to expand the ecosystem. So in the case of what we did with the user, with policymakers in the city of Marseille, we didn't focus only on these divisions, the nature in town or the energy divisions, but we always tried to expand that ecosystem to attract new stakeholders. And this allows to actually create new relationships and raise interest within the DestinE platform and amongst other potential national interested actors. So I'm nearly done. Just to conclude very briefly and give you an overview of the outcomes of this project. So as you've understood, there is an actionable toolkit that will be made available very soon. It has more than 20 worksheets that introduce the practical tools to support the co-design between these distant stakeholders. It is structured based on the 4 phases that I presented, and it has a lot of recommendations for training service developers, users, and so on to this methodology. We also have a website, an interactive website that will be regularly updated, that will feature all the full methodology, illustrative use cases, the downloadable worksheets to apply the methodology, and the different hands-on application templates. For the perspective for this methodology, of course, we want to work on the replicability of the co-design methodology with other users in other potential contexts. So if you are interested, please do not hesitate to come talk to us. We are here the whole day, and there is our contacts everywhere on the website and so on. So please do not hesitate. And we already have a few avenues on how to continue developing this methodology and complementing it. And finally, from an academic standpoint, because we are researchers, we have already published 2 peer-reviewed papers, and there are more to come on this methodology and the work we are doing with ESA on the Destination Earth platform. Thank you very much. I hope I wasn't too long.
Thanks a lot, Malik and Alexander. Just a quick question. We are already late. Is there any question for Malik and Alexander? I have one. I am not going to leave you without one. The co-design task is not something that is not a tick box exercise, right? It's a task that needs to be done with purpose, and done well, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. Can you help me quantify the effort, even roughly, that was involved in interacting with the city of Marseille? Can you tell me how many workshops, how many meetings you did, just to have a sense of the effort?
Yeah, as of now, we have done more than 70 hours of meetings and workshops with the different stakeholders. So we didn't go into details of the methodology here in the presentation, but in each phase there is a dedicated number of workshops that has strategic purposes, strategic stakeholders to be involved on how to do it and so on. So yeah, it takes a lot of time, but you actually need to be rigorous in that sense to be able to develop a service that is useful and that will be used while being resilient. Otherwise, you risk not having this result.
Definitely, okay. I'm sorry we are a bit tight on time, but thanks a lot again, Malik and Alexander. And I would like to invite on stage now Andrea Obregon from ECMWF. For the next presentation, Andrea and I will give a joint presentation. Andrea will start by sharing with you the insights from a recent study that looked at some recommendations for the data quality of the digital twins, and I will follow up looking at, and will tell you about a recent procurement that looks more at a broader DestinE system. Andre, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Claudia. Good afternoon, I shall say, everyone. Where is this slide? Just a second. Here we are. So yes, as Claudia said, so I will basically just introduce a precursor quality concept, let's say, before handing over to Claudia, who will then present a more ambitious framework concept. So basically, I'm going to talk about a small study we conducted over the last months, carried out by a contractor, which was advising on a quality control concept for DestinE, or to be more precise, for the digital twins. And we're talking more about quality, data quality aspects, right? So this framework, this contract was led by the University of Utrecht with some partners from Italy, CNR, CMCC, and Serco, as well as Colab Plus Atlantic from Portugal. And they developed a concept, so there was no implementation or something, just a concept of how a framework for DestinE could look like. So they basically reviewed existing quality frameworks, such as the Copernicus services, but also MET services, and did some stakeholder interviews. Since time is very limited, I will quickly jump to the key recommendations. Obviously, there are more specific recommendations on the digital twins and the use cases, and uncertainty was also a topic there. But the key recommendations are, in a nutshell, to basically build on not necessarily adopt, but build on the quality framework from the Copernicus Climate Change Service and to somehow adapt this to DestinE. And secondly, to focus on sort of user interactions, as we have heard before, of digital twins, and also to develop a dedicated systematic user requirements process. So the quality framework of C3S, very briefly, has 3 components: quality assurance, which is a technical checking of requirements, quality assessments, which is a more open-ended, in-depth scientific evaluation of different quality attributes, and fitness for purpose, which is basically information for users to estimate whether the data set is suitable in their particular context. So what is suggested here in this small study was to basically transfer the quality assessment into a do-it-yourself tool. I will quickly talk about this later. Fitness for purpose into a storytelling platform, and quality assurance into an expert repository. Those 2 frameworks share the fact that the user base is quite diverse, and we need different entry points to cater for these users, from academia, from decision makers, etc. So all of those users need different types of quality information. So very briefly, this expert repository, or QC expert repository, would be sort of a library of technical documentation, like validation, like model evaluations, etc. And this is just a mock-up that you see here, okay? So there's nothing that has been implemented. The second aspect would be what is here called the QC do-it-yourself tool. So this would be kind of a data inspection facility where users could make their own assessments on the fly. Again, this is just a mock-up that's being shown here. And this could be also promoted by early adopters using funding or challenges, as we have done in the past. Obviously, this comes with a couple of caveats. It's not trivial to do something like this, technical constraints, etc. But obviously, it would be recommendable that users can sort of check for themselves whether the dataset is suitable for their purpose and assess the quality themselves. But obviously, this would be for expert users. For non-expert users, or maybe also for expert users, it is suggested to introduce somehow a storytelling platform, similar to the fitness for purpose part in Copernicus, but this would be a place to showcase some, good examples of data use or the output product use, where users could understand, the strengths and limitations of these data sets. And this could be done in a very appealing way, and there are obviously existing tools that could be used for that. In a nutshell, because I cannot go into the details of all the recommendations, but there are opportunities, obviously, I think, between Copernicus and Destination Earth, and all these recommendations could be taken on board by what Claudia will now present in a more ambitious fashion. So, yeah, thanks for your attention. I hand over to Claudia.
Thanks, Andre. So in this part, instead, I'm going to talk about, we are going to shift the attention a little bit. Andre talked about the quality specifically for the DestinE data, and now we shift the attention to the quality that invests all elements of DestinE system that are facing the users. So the quality of the platform and its ecosystem of services. So just to give you, here the context is very, very important. So you know that the platform brings together loads of different elements, and these elements, you can think about them as data, modeling capabilities, AI capabilities, visualization tools, etc. But the platform, in a sense, needs to stay agnostic to the heterogeneity of all these elements. For the platform, everything is a service, right? But one thing that is not clear to many and needs to be clarified is that all services actually are developed, operated, and maintained independently from the platform. So the platform sees those services as black boxes. And you're thinking, okay, what's a service? Let's give an example. The dissemination of the data from the digital twin is considered a service, right? So the platform itself has very little visibility of what happens inside each service. But what the platform does, it aggregates different services, and over time will work more and more on orchestrating these services, because you will be able to do service chaining, etc. But even with all these limitations, the platform still bears an important responsibility. That is the one that to ensure that users get reliable information, high quality information, and also fit for purpose output. And this is what we call excellence by design. So this is the reason why we thought of launching a framework, a tender, very recently, to develop and operate what we call an operational quality framework for the platform and its services. This aims to ensure that the services are both scientifically and technically valid, but also relevant to its users. And it will be implemented as a service itself, and will focus a lot on transparency, interoperability, stakeholder feedback, and sustainability. So in order to achieve excellence, we are focusing on 3 driving principles. The first one is operational quality and efficiency. The second is fitness for purpose, and the third one is continuous improvement. And here I give you some examples. Bear in mind, these are examples of things we will need to look at when we want to work on each of those principles. But in general, I would say that if operational quality and efficiency means that we need all the services to be reliable, robust, but also performant at scale. We need, for the first, fitness for purpose means that the services need to be usable, but also understandable by every user. And continuous improvement for us means to introduce a feedback-driven culture in which we listen to the user continuously and we evolve the platform to be relevant, always relevant to the user needs. So this tender is an important tender, and why this tender matters, and now more than ever, there are a number of reasons. So the platform now is not anymore a hypothetical concept, it's actually up and running, it's operational. And we just heard from Andre that there are conclusions from a recent studies on data quality, which is an important, strong foundation for us. And also, bear in mind that we have 23 active services at the moment, but the idea is that we could get 200 services by the end of the year. So we are now at a very important moment in which we can really work on the quality governance before the complexity explodes. So this is the reason why we are running this right now. And also, we need to take into consideration that quality is a shared concern. I hear comments and questions about quality all the time in DestinE events, and we need to take that into account. We need to address that. And so this standard is really our unique opportunity to consolidate thinking and shape the community consensus. So, very briefly, what is the operational quality framework in a nutshell? Well, it's 5 things. First of all, we will produce a living document in which we will summarize the methodology to measure quality under all the different principles. We will have an automated system that collects this information and calculate indices and display. For example, we will have dashboards as well, public-facing dashboards, to show and communicate to everyone what is the quality of the DestinE system. We will have a task force that will help us. You can imagine those as advisors that will help us audit the work we do. We will have a training program because, okay, you set up a quality framework, right? But then you need to teach people how to use it, right? You need to inform and train our existing users to be compliant with this quality framework, and you need to train the new service providers. And last but not least, we will also have an innovation and training programs that will allow us to have what the users were mentioning in one of the comments you heard before. They need a sandbox, they need a place where they can experiment. And at the moment, that place for experimentation and collaborative work does not exist. We will use that space also to understand whether technologies are reliable, whether they are scalable, and it will serve well the overall system. And I will leave you with a few points, which is what is the user going to expect? So the user can expect trustworthy outputs once the framework is in place, because they will see quality indicators. They will have an idea of how quality is working in the system. They will have available dashboard in plain language. This means that they will understand what an individual indicator means. There will be a feedback mechanism that is transparent and very clear to everyone. So for everyone becomes clear how to voice their concern, how to voice their ideas. We will have quality-related training, as I said before, and access to tested and validated innovation. And that's it from me. So at this point, I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and maybe we can ask the audience if they have any question. I just wanted to mention I cannot really respond to very specific technical question, because the tender is still open. It's open until 1 o'clock. So even if you want to ask me very specific question, I'm very happy to talk to you, but after 1 o'clock. But in the meantime, generic question or questions from Andrea are very welcome.
I have a very generic question.
Okay.
I don't know whether you know, but in 2009 there were European elections, and the movie from Yann Arthus Bertrand, Home, was watched, and it greatly influenced the election. And it was the highest success for the Green Party in France because of this movie, Home. And the question is, why aren't you using Destination Earth as a tool for every citizen to be able to chat with the planet? And you have a storytelling capability in the tool. You have already thinking about the chatting capability. So every citizen could have a dialogue with the planet and use this as a tool to make everybody aware of the situation, and then push all the layers up for a much broader use of the platform. I think you have all the bricks, but you have 147 subscribers on LinkedIn. Tesla, who's never done any marketing in their history, have 12 million subscribers. So you don't have a Facebook page. And we are all concerned. Every citizen, every children is concerned about this. I think you are driving the most important initiative of the century. I really mean it, but I think it's a well-kept secret. And use the tool to make everybody aware. That would be my suggestion.
Well, I thank you very, very much for this message. And I wanted to just mention very briefly, the LinkedIn account is only open since a couple of weeks ago. So we hope to get more followers. But yes, thanks a lot for your comment. Any more questions? If not, Thanks a lot.
Sorry, I have a question, if I may.
Yeah,
Sorry.
excellent, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a more practical question. So you mentioned this platform and this dashboard. So I was wondering if you have a specific region you're interested in, maybe a specific urban area or something, would you then be able to go to this platform to find information on how others have used the data and found certain biases that have been mentioned throughout the sessions, like data overestimating, underestimating certain indices still, and so on, or what would you be able to find? So just for the local, very local application case, right, would this collect the information from all the different validation exercises so that I would be able to understand what others have found out about a certain region when I want to implement it locally?
Excellent. I like this comment. I don't know yet what will be in the dashboard because the procurement is not closed yet. So I have not read yet the proposals, so what the companies really propose to do. But I would like to talk to you later. So I take a note of this because I think it's very relevant. Thanks a lot. Okay, I think in the interest of time, we need to move on. Thanks a lot, André. And beyond this upcoming quality framework, let's have a look at what's next for DestinE. Can I invite on stage Jörn Hoffmann, Franka Kunz, and Michael Schick for an overview of what's coming next? Thanks.
Okay, so those of you who've been here for the last day and a half will hopefully recognize some of what I'm going to tell you. So my task here is in a few minutes to give you a brief overview of the next elements that are coming on the parts that are implemented by ECMWF. So I'll start with the climate digital twin. Building on what Irina presented yesterday, the yellow parts are essentially what is coming next, and the blue stuff is what's already there. So we'll do the simulations, continue the simulations in a coherent way for the existing scenario, the 3.7. So that's the same scenario at 5 kilometers all the way to from the historical period to 2050. Then, of course, the storyline simulations will be continually updated. The other element on the climate DT that we'll be investing more time and effort in is the continued co-design on the different impact sectors where climate matters. And that will mean updated and more direct responses to the users who are involved in these different applications and developments. The pilot services that have in part presented here yesterday and have also shown posters in the back of the room that we've contracted this year will be all delivering their services early next year in the second quarter. And from then on, for the duration of the rest of phase 2, we'll be delivering their service to users. And the same or similar at a slightly different time schedule is true for the machine learning demonstrators that are not providing service but still you can test and play with the applications that's being developed there. Then on the extremes DT, there will be continuous upgrades of the modeling components. We're working on enhancing the coupling between the global and the on-demand regional case. We're continuing to evaluate the usage scenarios, the added value, the quality with the national Met services, who in this case are the primary users. And also we're extending the capabilities on simulating extremes in a warming climate. This is something that will come in phase 3, so starting in the middle of next year, but it's still coming. It's part of the plans of what we're doing. The final one, the digital twin engine, so there where the two headlines are working on improved interoperability and use and improved documentation support. On the first part, there is a lot of different developments that you will see making an impact. Local point and area profiles, the EDR interface, various data user support, different formats and grids supported, better catalog support, and the dashboard information on the platform. Current developments that Irina mentioned also that are ongoing that will come soon and be accessible are the AI-supported forecast in the box and weather and climate chatbot applications. This is also something that you will see coming in see traces of or will become available in the coming months. And the final one is the new activities that we're currently contracting. So this is an open ITT at the moment with new pilot service, machine learning demonstrators, apologies, on water resilience, agriculture, and the fusion of different climate projections, including climate DT with other available projections. Those are the main ones. There are also a few other activities that I'm not going to go into detail here in the interest of time. That's it from me.
And let's move on to Michael, and then we will take questions for all of them at the end.
So I'll give you some sort of summary as well, what's coming up to the users. So I summarize on this slide what are the main achievements at the moment and at the end of the phase 2. So DestinE Data Lake is one of the 3 components of Destination Earth, and HumanSat has delivered a production-level data lake with geo-distributed infrastructure to the planned capacity as it was planned. We are hosting the digital twin outputs and make them accessible to you, to the users. We have established a DestinE data portfolio of 200 plus data sets, and we provide near data processing services essential for institutional users to leverage DestinE data for their applications. So then a bit more drilled down into what's coming, so in the next year. So on some presentations we had throughout the 2 days, we will do some AI/ML enhancements and support within the Data Lake Edge services. So for example, we're working, once it's been started, on AI/ML ready data based on the DestinE data portfolio, enhancing machine learning ops capabilities and the support. We will also make some upgrades on the infrastructure regarding GPUs and storage, etc. And we will also do a better integration in the core platform website. So we expect to have the DestinE data portfolio better integrated and visualized in the core platform website. Also that we have the Edge service request management integrated there and easier to be used. Also in HDA we will include more data sets on the user needs, and we would also like to include the access to the cache that is sitting on the core platform so that you can also do that with the HDA. Some general thoughts from my side, so reflecting over the 2 days. I think for us it's very important, that's not only for us, but for everyone, that data and services, they are only valuable if they are used. Then DestinE need to be used, trusted as an additional source in national value chains. The long-term availability, maintenance, and evolution is secured for the entire initiative. And then I think what is quite important is that we need to make it a product that really others want to use and have the relevant quality and trust. We need to work on continuous improvements based on feedback, like from today we have, and also that we receive from the Destination Earth Coordination Group, Advisory Board, Member States, and users. And we need to work on alignment with other ongoing initiatives like the AI factories, Copernicus data space, general data spaces. And then I would like to take as well the opportunity and highlight the significance of the involved industry in achieving all these results on the data lake, but I guess it's the same for the other two entities. And also because of the combined efforts and the skills of the 3 E's together and the support from the European Commission, it was possible to build such a complex system in such short time for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. And now over to Franca.
Thank you very much. Is this working now? Perfect. I was told by someone yesterday that I didn't even say my name in the beginning of the opening of the event. So now you know, my name is Franca. I'm also working for ESA apparently. And I'm very happy to present what's coming to users. Usually I don't like to do tables, but we have to do at some points because we have to show what we're going to do also with the services. You know that we differentiate between core services and advanced services. So core services are there because we all need them, for example, the identity management and so on. But we also have some services which we think are very important to use for everyone. And here you can see 5 new services coming up in a very few months. Next time they are in the process of getting onto the platform. One of them will be actually the AI endpoint, which is really nice because then everyone has the opportunity to run their own AI models. And I think also Madeleine is very excited about this from use because then you practically can also do it. You can see it in the table. Please read it. There will be much more information coming on the websites anyways, so please feel free. Also, you can approach us. Then we also have the so-called advanced services. Advanced services are, in addition to the core services, they can be very, very specific. We had a call beginning of the year and we decided, we actually got over 20 proposals for this. Very interesting to read. I was part of the selection process. We decided to have 12 advanced services in this package. Most of them are signed. They are in the process of onboarding, will be at the platform very, very soon. For example, which I would like to highlight, I mean, all of them are important, right? But for example, and Katrin mentioned it yesterday, there is this harvest service where you can see how many potatoes will grow and let's see how many food production you have on this. Very interesting, as I said, it's going to be on the platform. These are the other ones we already onboarding. There will be also one on mosquito population, and you can look in the future how the mosquito population will evolve. And this is very, very important. We need these advanced services, right? Because we want to build this digital twin of the Earth. We talked a lot about weather models, climate models, very important, but it's even more than that. With the platform, we have the opportunity to build everything we want. We're doing another round of these advanced services. You can apply. Please feel free to be part of it. We are very interested to even have more. Then, we just had the presentation on the co-design. Just want to highlight that the whole toolkit will be available soon. And I know it sounds a lot of work. We know, but for DestinE, we think we need this co-design because we're doing something which we have never done before. We're building digital twins. We have new user groups, we have new users, we have to engage with technology and so on. So we need a toolkit, a formalized process to do so. And because I'm German, I'm very happy that we have some formalized thing to do this now. Will be available to use. And then some points, what else? I mean, at ESA, we are a team of about 10 people, which is not that much. But we are working every day to make the DestinE platform and DestinE even better. As Barbara told us today in the morning, the Tennessee concept, it will be applied to all core services. We're working on that. Also, we will integrate with the Simple, which starts in September. We start with the identity management system, much more coming. And from a personal perspective, what I really like to share is that we do have this joint website. We have someone writing articles for us. And the next article will be on Meet the Teams Behind DestinE. And I like to come back to Anna from the session yesterday. So DestinE is not just about technology, right? It's also about people. And we want all of you to know who's working there. So there will be an article on the ESA people, on the HumanSat people, and also on the ECMWF persons working on it, so you know who you have to ask in the end. And very, very special, the Learning Hub, more courses, learning courses to come. If you have anything you want to have on a platform, tell us. And I know, everyone is annoyed by this survey we are doing. Alexi said it, it's not many of you got feedback, which is surprising because I thought usually when we do these events, you come to us and have many things to share, also negative feedback. You can do so. Please go ahead and take the survey. And I would like to add that right after this event, in the afternoon session, we have the so-called checkpoint session where we talk about the survey and you can actually give us feedback in person. So if you want to say something really to us, come and discuss with us. Otherwise, still do the survey because we really want to hear from you. And with that, I would like to finish. We are here. I think it should be obvious by now. We are here to listen to you. There's an actual email address to it. Please come and join our initiative. Thank you.
Thanks a lot to our speakers. I know we are a bit late, but I would really like to give you the chance to ask questions on the future of DestinE. Anyone has a question? No, this is good. It's all clear, fantastic. Thanks a lot to all our speakers, and we can maybe move on to the closing remarks. I would like to invite on stage Katrin Hinze from ESA and Charalabos Philakidis from European Commission. Babis, Katrin, the floor is yours for the concluding remarks.
Thank you, Claudia, and thank you, everyone. So maybe I give first the floor to Babis. I can start? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So some conclusions of this event. First of all, on the logistics. So 8:30 for the first session is really early in the morning. Then 1.5 days is really short for all the information that we bring every time. And I really appreciate the long breaks that we had because there was a lot of interesting interaction with all of you during the breaks. So I think this is a good concept that we should keep in mind. And then I asked a little bit around about conclusions of people. So compared to the previous user exchanges where we promised a lot, this time we had actually users here that have started using the capabilities of DestinE, and even if it's still in the making, so we are not 100% there, but people have now seen a little bit, glimpsed a bit what will be there. So that is very different from the previous user exchanges. Then the regular exchange is important, so we are also trying to keep this. And the feedback was there was a lot of excellent exchange between the different stakeholders, interesting input also for other people. And I really liked the statement to enable the citizens to chat with the planet, so we will work on this one. And let's see at the next user exchange what we achieved by then. And before I come to thank everybody, I give the floor to Babis.
So thank you, Catherine. And allow me also to say a few words before the 4th edition of the Destination Earth User Exchange comes to an end. And let me start by thanking all of you, all the participants, both here in Vienna, but also online, for your invaluable contribution, once again, for your energy, for your effort, your time put in these 2 days. We had more than 400 participants, a lot of interactive poster sessions, and of course, a lot of innovative ideas, lessons learned, best practices, but most of all, I would say thought-provoking talks and discussions, and I think this is impressive. So I believe that you will agree with me that this, again, has been a true successful event. It was both productive and inspiring, and it met its objective at full extent. So I need also, of course, to thank our 3 partners, our 3 implementing entities. It's the pillar of the success. All together, ESA, ECMWF, and UMATSA, they are working hard to deliver what you have witnessed. And this time, it's my turn now to give a special thank you to ESA for organizing the event, but also for having the brilliant idea to bring the Destination Earth User Exchange together with a Living Planet Symposium. So well done, Catherine. That is part of the overall success. So during these 2 days, you learn more on the progress of Destination Earth, and we discussed a number of important topics. So from vision to action, from how we, let's say, have Destination Earth best serve the user community, but also how we can address the needs in the very specific areas of climate change adaptation, the extreme weather events preparedness, and what is the connection with a number of impact sectors, for example, energy or urban planning. So, dear participants, as you know, Destination Earth has made an astonishing, I would say, progress in the last 3.5 years. And we are actually introducing unique features and capabilities, which in turn create new opportunities for you, the users of Destination Earth. But at the same time, we are working closely with our services in the Commission so that we make sure that Destination Earth contributes to a number of very important union initiatives. And there I can mention a few of them, like the forthcoming European Climate Adaptation Plan, the Water Resilience Strategy, the European Mission on Climate Change Adaptation, and of course the EUCRA, the European Risk Assessment. And we are contributing also in the overall union effort in the area of disaster risk management. But also, we are working closely with our stakeholders and users at the various levels, national, regional, local, because we need to understand the needs at these levels and then turn them into solutions that we will build, co-design and build with the users in these areas so that they have their own dedicated and tailored tools and applications addressing these needs. But I think what is also important to mention is that Destination Earth is not a standalone initiative. It's part of a bigger family. It's part of the overall ecosystem of the common European data spaces, and we are in full synergy with major and key actions in the area of AI, like, as we said yesterday, the AI factories. In turn, these create new opportunities for Destination Earth users in this new and emerging ecosystem. But in order to make all this progress come to, let's say, fruition, we need an important element. And this is you, the users of Destination Earth. Because you, with your ideas, with your input, with your feedback, you help us create and shape Destination Earth in a way that it's fit for the challenges that you are facing, that it becomes a system that will transform, even revolutionize the way we work in this area. So hearing and learning from you, it's of paramount importance. And I believe that these 2 days we took the next step towards expanding our user community. So I'm also certain that the key takeaways and the conclusion of this event will help all of us working on Destination Earth to further deepen our thinking, but also to stimulate the work for the future of Destination Earth, and as we are heading towards phase 3. So just before closing, again, allow me to thank all of you. You made this event a success, and I'm looking forward for the next edition, the 5th one. We hope to see all of you there, but I'm sure that in between we will have many chances to discuss and interact together. So a big thank you also from my side and the side of the Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Babis. No, stay here. So thank you, Babis, and the European Commission for funding all this. And then I would really like to thank Franca, who was the driving force behind the organization of this event. And we all enjoyed her moderation. I thank all the teams from our 3 entities contributing to this event, and the technicians making everything possible, and the service behind. And I hope to see you all at our next occasion where we meet again. And we would like to take a group picture. And I'm sure that this holds. So if you want to come up all and we take one picture together. Who's taking the picture? You are taking the picture? Okay. Don't be shy. Come here.